making a DC game. Let's fucking go. Thanks everybody, and peace out. Welcome to a very exciting live stream, guys. And hey, Restore the Snyderverse guy, Bat Fanatic, Oracle Clock Tower, SuperBroCorey, the Red Hood Outlaw. Yo, what's up, guys? So, you guys know what the interview is all about today. So, without further ado, let's introduce the world's finest. That is the Bat Channel representing the Batman and SuperBroCorey representing Superman. Yo, what's up, Strange Marvel Theory as well. Let's get them on. First, let's get Batman on. Yeah.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
How's everyone doing? Yes, hyped as always. And let's introduce Superman himself, SuperBroCorey.
That's it. I'm out. Can't have him.
What's up, Deladia? How we doing, buddy? How we doing, fam?
I'm hyped. I'm super hyped right now. So yeah, tonight's stream is gonna be a really good one because I have lots of questions for you. And this as well, guys, this stream is also to raise awareness for AFSP because I want you guys, if you guys haven't donated yet to the AFSP Foundation, make sure you guys do. I have left a link in the description because these guys have raised so much money. So we'll be discussing that on the channel today. So obviously, first question is of course the Bat Channel is how was the experience that you did for the charity live stream with you and SuperBroCorey?
The full circle stream in particular.
The one you did with the BVS charity live
Oh
stream.
yes, man, it was such a cool, crazy experience. When we got the news, I mean, first off, Corey and I knew going in when we asked to be a part of the Full Circle at home streaming event that the Nerd Queens were putting on. We knew immediately the mission and the goal we had in mind, which was to raise awareness and money for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. And with that, obviously there's pressure that comes with that because you want to do a good job. You want to represent our community well, but more importantly, like you hope that you can achieve something with either raising that money or just creating a fun experience for people to like enjoy themselves. Because I mean, the world can be so negative nowadays, and especially social media. And this was like just a fun way to kind of get people together who, you know, unfortunately couldn't attend the Full Circle event with Zack Snyder in Pasadena, California, and to create a environment and a show that was kind of fun, exciting, and just a feel good time, you know. So Corey actually came up with this wonderful idea when we knew we were going to be doing the BVS day, you know, which was the Saturday streams for Full Circle. Corey and I immediately were like, well, we're the Bat Channel and SuperBroCorey. Like, let's do something like really fun and exciting and kind of play into that Batman v Superman theme. So Corey was thinking like, well, let's do some fun questions of like, who's better, Batman or Superman? Who likes pineapple on their pizza, Batman, you know, all these different ways to kind of create a fun, engaging experience with our audience that day. And man, did we have a blast. It was such a great time. And the fact that we were able to raise, I think, Corey, in total, it was like $830 for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Yeah. Between our two streams, we did $830 for AFSP, not including the stuff that was going directly to the Full Circle donation side of things while we were streaming as well. As I know, a lot of our community was doing a fantastic job donating straight to the Full Circle event.
Strange Marvel Theory. In the description, I have got the Bat Channel's YouTube page. SuperBroCorey hasn't done content on his page yet, but I have left a link to his Twitter. So hopefully SuperBroCorey
Excellent.
will be doing content soon. I hope, fingers crossed, that he'll have it on the SuperBroCorey channel. Um, but yeah, like what you guys have got, like what you guys did was amazing, amazing for not only raising awareness for suicide prevention, but the fact that you made it entertaining. Um, because the fact that you got probably one of the amazing two guests I never thought you guys were gonna pull that. It was a bit so much of a surprise. Care to elaborate how that came around?
Oh man, with Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Carr, it was they're just wonderful people. You know, I mean, if there's one thing I can say is, and this is kind of a lesson that I learned when I was growing up and in high school. Um, Oftentimes, like you've probably heard of the phrase, like "Don't meet your heroes; they'll always let you down." This was not one of those cases. I think what people unfortunately do, like when they talk about celebrities, is like all you think of them are celebrities. You know, they're on
Yeah,
this pedestal, and rightfully so. I mean, some of them are just have done some incredible work. Samantha Wynn, Wayne T. Carr, all of what they have done in their career so far is nothing short but of amazing and incredible careers so far, and still growing and getting better. But I think the most important lesson I learned in high school was when I met a celebrity. I met a gentleman by the name of Mark Wood. He was the founder and head musician of a popular group called the Trans Siberian Orchestra. And I remember hanging out with him for a weekend in Kansas. He does this music camp, and him and I were just having like breakfast together, and he was talking about everyday life, just the things that were going on at the
Mhm.
time, you know, current events on the news that were, you know, on his mind. And from that moment on, I kind of recognized he's just like me. You know, he's just a regular guy just trying to enjoy the day, you know, and get through it and make life better. And from that moment, I took Retro. It's good to see you, girl.
good
What's
to
From
up,
see
that,
you,
Retro?
Retro. Welcome, welcome on in,
it's good to
Retro.
see you,
Welcome.
Retro. Um, from that moment on, I kind of just realized, yes, anytime you talk to a celebrity or to someone of that stature, of that popularity, it's important to know you're coming into that situation, that respect, you know, to have for that person, but to more importantly, to treat them like a person, you know, they want to be treated like an ordinary person. And Corey will tell you the same thing. Hanging out with Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Carr, they were the nicest, most genuine people we've ever. And it felt like for us having that be our first time, like really chatting with them, it was like we've talked with them for years. You know, like good friends from the past. Just an absolute wonderful time. Super Bro, did you have what was your experience with them?
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right, Trey. Samantha Wynn is just a sweetheart. It honestly felt like I was talking to a friend that I've known forever, and we were just kicking it. And she's a phenomenal person. She's done and accomplished so many things that it was an absolute honor to have her on. Her character in Army of the Dead and Zack Snyder's Justice League and Wonder Woman, and there's so many more. And her new movie upcoming, The Dresden Sun, that it looks absolutely phenomenal. So she is such an amazing person and was just so kind and you know just a pleasure to have on. And then, Wayne T. Carr was an amazing guest as well. And, we had to ask him one tough question. Otherwise, the community would have never forgiven us if we didn't ask us. But his comments about AFSP and, just remembering that you're loved when you're going through your dark times was, man, when they were both talking about AFSP and what they do during their darkest times or words of encouragement, I had tears in the backstage. It was absolutely beautiful. So as I'm punching the show, um, I wanted to make sure that I
Yeah,
had some big clips of them where they like when they were going deep into themes that they were full screen and we were really spotlighting Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Carr and I didn't realize it until as I was punching the show, but I was like, man, this is gold. This is absolutely amazing. What they're doing here, the message that they're giving for AFSP, and how much it was touching my soul just in the backstage of it all. I was like, this is gold here, and that's why we had to make some of those
that was good,
clips
Mitchell.
to continue to boost the AFSP
Yeah,
in little short video formats as well.
and when you guys presented them onto the panel, it was so much of a hype moment for me because I was doing my thing and I was like, wait, is that Wayne T. Carr? Is that Samantha Wynn? I was just like, wait a minute, how did you guys pull that off? I was just like, it was the one of the most biggest surprises I've ever had. And by the way, hey, Batman Who Laughs, how you doing?
Hey,
And
Hey,
Batman.
Mitchell
bud.
also, hey, Mitchell.
Hey, Mitchell.
But when it came down to you guys unveiling that, I was just like, wow, like it was incredible, it was powerful. The messages you guys were sending were really powerful messages, strong messages, and positive messages
Thank
because
you.
Thanks.
like what you guys were doing for that event for the charity live stream that I like we just it just melted my heart really.
Thank you.
And Mitchell, I'm doing an interview today with the Bat Channel and SuperBroCorey as they did their live stream for charity for the Full Circle event, and they raised over $800 for AFSP for American Foundation Suicide Prevention. So we're kind of discussing that, and plus them having Wayne T. Carr and Samantha Wynn, that was that basically is part of the Zack Snyder's stunt team and also Green Lantern. So we're discussing that. Um, but as well, when it came down to you guys showing, your interaction with the chat was so incredibly great. I was just like, I just wish there was more people like you out there when it came down to you guys doing raising the awareness, making it not about political agendas, but keeping it on topic and basically making it about what it should be about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that, Taladia. The flow of the show is incredibly important to Trey and I. And, luckily, Trey and I have the ability to tag team our YouTube channel. So Trey is providing amazing content, and I'm have the ability to punch the show and kind of keep track of the chat. Now, this one was an incredibly a little bit of a nerve wracking show. I
You
remember
did a great
talking.
job, though, Super Bro.
Yeah,
You were
you
killing
guys,
it, bro.
you guys were like doing great job, and it was like I was just like, obviously, I wish could have been a part of that panel because I would have loved to have been able to ask some questions to Samantha Wynn and also to Wayne T. Carr, in
Yeah,
particularly with their involvement to Zack Snyder's Justice League and also with the Wonder Woman stuff as well, because those guys really, those guys are really genuine and genuinely care about the community at hand, not about, oh, it has to be about, such and such and such, but essentially they're making it positive. You're sticking to the topic, and you guys are basically asking genuine questions, and that's what I love about you guys.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Shalati. And to kind of continue on with what you said there, just the flow of it. We were blessed to have Retro Nerd Girl and Koj join us as well. And Koj did an amazing job from being able to be our correspondent per se at the Full Circle event, who was telling us kind of the behind the scenes things that he was seeing there. So as we wanted to really make you guys feel like you guys, the community was a part of the Full Circle event. So we had, Koj there representing it from being, our person on the ground, our boots on the ground. And then Retro Nerd Girl, she is just such a sweetheart as well. She has this calming demeanor to us who are kind of, we were freaking out about the show because this was such a big show for us. And she's very soft spoken and just a good soul, very kind hearted. And we knew that she was going to ask fantastic questions and just do an amazing job as another unique voice in our community.
And they both just have such like positive energies that Corey and I, we're not gonna lie, we were
Yeah,
somewhat stressed out that day for the show because we knew this was going to be huge. And
yeah,
it wasn't so much the fact that we were having Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Carr on here, is that we really wanted to do a great job representing our community and helping out the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, because obviously it's an important cause to us. It's an important cause to Zach. It's an important cause to everyone,
yes,
and we really wanted to keep the focus there. So it was like, we have all these wonderful people coming onto our show. How do we position this, and how do we focus on this to hit our goal, hit our mark? And I was very pleased of how it turned out. And having people like Koj who could make people, because I mean, you see the stuff that happens on Twitter. We knew as soon as Zach said there was going to be a Full Circle event, they were selling tickets, not everyone was going to be able to attend. We knew there was going to be some hurt feelings by that. So it was a great way. And I'm so glad that Koj was willing to share his experience, because if you watched in the video, he had his friends hanging out who came from out of country. Some were from the UK, some were from India. Like, they all came to California and they were hanging out. So for him to take out an hour of his day to like hang out with us for a moment, to make everyone who was watching our stream feel like they were a part of Full Circle, like they were getting a moment to enjoy it with everyone who got to attend it. But then to have someone like Retro Nerd Girl, who is just such a, I mean, I love Retro Nerd Girl. Her energy, her positivity, just her kindness, her generosity is so phenomenal. And whenever Retro's around, you're in good hands. She's gonna take care of you.
yes.
Um,
She has a lot of good knowledge of a lot of different topics,
Mhm.
especially when
yes,
it comes down to like the Star Wars stuff. She has a good background on that. Retro stuff, she's into that stuff. So I've really been watching her stuff on that. And when it comes down to her coming on the panels, she brings a great topic of discussion to bring to the table, and a very interesting topic too, because she keeps it 100% genuinely real and not be like, oh, well, like some of these other content creators that doesn't keep it real, but she's one of the real ones. And just like you guys, what you guys bring is very, very cool and epicness to your live stream.
thank
Right.
you. That means a lot. I mean, it's one of those scenes where sometimes you don't know. There was a lesson that I learned growing up in marching band, and from our parents, where like they used to say, like, always do the right thing even when you think no one is looking or watching you, because generally, I mean, it's kind of like a side question where it's like there's someone watching you, or if you think there's no one watching you, there's someone that's going to catch on to the good things that you're doing. So just keeping that mentality of doing it for the right reasons, doing it because it's what's right, it's what's
Yes.
just. And for us, doing this stream was not only a wonderful opportunity to do something great for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, but to like create a place of, you know, togetherness, unity, community, you
Mhm.
know, all
Yes.
that was, it was, that was humbling all in itself, you know. So I appreciate, it's nice to know when someone does recognize what you guys do, the hard work that goes into it. Um, because even though you don't expect it, it's nice to hear. So thank you so much, Talati. We really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks to Ladia. And like obviously, like Trey said, the first focus for us was for raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And then two, it was to provide, our community with an amazing show and to really feel a part of that full circle event, even though they weren't able to be there. Um, so keeping those things in mind, and then from the third, being the unity side of things, we know that this community and even the greater community as a whole in the DC world, it's very fractious and broken right now. And as long as people were being respectful, we weren't going to shy away from allowing their comments to be seen on our channel.
Yeah. And it's like what you guys got involved in, and I was like, the first thing I was like, I have to get the Bat Channel on. I have to get SuperBroCorey on, because the fact of what you guys did, what you guys talked about, what you guys raised awareness to, and furthermore, how much how much money you guys raised was like, you know, I want to bring that to my channel and basically get get you guys to explain, how all of this came about, how this, you know, how much this means to you so much in terms of the charity itself, the people that you got on the panel to as well, when it comes down to for your future as well, because like I'm sure you guys have got something big planned in the future for when it comes down to
There's always
the
something
next.
up the sleeve.
There's always something up the sleeve, yes. So it's like I really would like that's why my questions to you is like, of course, like doing this stuff must have been like a big surprise, to the point where you noticed a lot of communities, both from the Sil Nation and non-Sil Nation members, coming to the channel and basically genuinely being positive and genuinely caring for what you guys uh, have have been doing to engage with the fans.
Well, you know, you brought up something very interesting there, and I think that that's the key. That's the secret. You know, it's nothing really. I mean, there's not like some, there's not something that like we're hiding of like what, you know, what you can do to make this possible. It's actually very simple. It's find a common goal, you know, and whether, you know, the DC community, obviously it's a bit divided right now. You have the Snyderverse community, and then you have the different factions within there. In a way, it's kind of, you know, we talk about Star Wars. We're a lot like the Mandalorians. You know, there's so many different
Mm.
factions of our community. You know, with the Batfleck, you know, make the Batfleck movie, release the air cut. You know, make the Cyborg film. Make Man of Tomorrow. All these different factions of the community who all have different ideas about how do we achieve getting the Snyderverse, and then you have DC fans who are ready to move on and experience whatever James Gunn has, which hey, that's cool. But there's one thing that has always kind of been a unifier between us, regardless of if you dislike that person, if you care about that person, you know, the kind of the unifying theme is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, right? Is and not and even take away that foundation, right? Suicide prevention, just something
Yes,
as simple as that.
yes,
That is something we've all experienced, something of that nature, whether you've lost a friend or a family or heard of a friend who lost someone to suicide. You know, we've all experienced those dark times in some way, probably especially in the last few years with the pandemic and all the lockdowns and stuff like that. Um,
yes. Like
this
for
was, sorry, go
mhm.
ahead.
I was gonna say, for me, this is personal because I actually lost my brother. One of my brother's cousin actually did did suicide.
Oh.
Um, um, he wasn't having a good time. So, and basically deleted themselves, right? That's the best way to put it. I don't want to get
Yeah.
demonetized and stuff like that. So
I'm
this
sorry, man.
this this charity means a lot um because I want to raise that awareness as well, because I feel if you guys don't like not many people are doing what you guys are doing, like, which is raising the awareness, spreading the positivity, but at the same time being like serious about it as well. Because yeah, you have the happy go moments, but you're also being serious about the what the objective is, right? And like, which is basically getting people to engage with the donations. Furthermore, if they got any questions, then they can ask those questions. It's like, have you guys, like, for example, when I saw a couple of donations in your chat, I was just like really happy and pleased that people were donating, just for not only for the sole purpose for the question, but for the fact that they were donating for AFSP, which was a
Mhm.
key point.
hmm and that's what I have to shout out Trey for a second, because that's one thing that he has really this has been the foundation of the Bat Channel, and is raising money for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Just about, and it's it's why we also say we want to get to 20,000 subscribers, because at 20, or not 20,000, 10,000 subscribers, because at 10,000 subscribers you can start actually running donation streams, because one of the things that Trey and I have committed to in the past is, if we do these AFSP streams, yeah, we want to see you guys put the money on the AFSP link, because that's where the full amount goes. But for those who do give us the super chat, um, YouTube takes a portion of that money. And when Trey first told me that after our first AFSP live stream, years ago, I was like, no freaking way, dude. Like, that's not right. That YouTube does that. And I guess I get it if we were keeping it, but I was like, whatever it takes, I'm gonna put, match what the rest of the amount should be, so they can get that full donation of our super chat into there. And since then, we've kept that tradition alive, and we were able to do it again this last go around. So the full amount of the super chat, even though YouTube takes a portion, we add that additional portion in. So Trey caught bringing that foundation of always doing this for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and that's really our foundation and reason why for the Bat Channel. We've talked about it numerous times. We've had numerous streams about AFSP and doing AFSP events. It's just a great cause and a great reason why to keep pushing forward.
Yes. So also, as Oracle Clock Tower says, get them guys up to 10K, guys. The link to Bat Channel's YouTube page is in the description, so make sure you guys do subscribe to them. Bat Fanatic says you guys are amazing. Red Hood
Oh,
says
thanks,
that's why
guys.
you guys are legit. Red Hood says Outlaw says respect, and the Batman who laughs says salute. And like for me personally, what you guys did is just like so amazing. But I have to ask this question: is the origin of your channel? I need to ask that question.
The origin of our channel.
Yes, yes,
Great,
the
great
origin.
question. Um,
Like Batman has his, the death of Bruce Thomas the Master Wayne. And yes, I said it. And before we, answer that question, I have to play this claim.
Why did you say that
um,
That's great.
that's awesome. Well, I mean, the origins, it's kind of that natural progression, I guess you could say. Corey and I always kind of grew up kind of animated, and um, just, I mean, the way you see us on YouTube is how we are in real life. You can ask Bat Dan. When we went to Illinois, one of our good friends and content creators, Bat Dan's thoughts,
Yes.
we actually like said, hey dude, we're gonna be in Illinois for a wedding, for Orkin Beans 14's wedding, like come down and see us. And it seems like that's an awkward thing, because like you're like, I've only seen this person on social media and YouTube, I've never seen them in person. But like the moment Batman and Corey and I and Orc and Beans were like hanging out, it was like we're streaming together. What most people don't know is majority of the time after these shows end, we're usually on like an hour after hours, after
Yes.
the stream has ended and the curtains are closed and no one can see what's going on. And a lot of the content creators are hanging out chatting about life or just being silly with each other. And that's the beautiful thing about all the friendships that we've built. But I guess you could say, to get back to your question of where the origin of the Bat Channel came from, it was a lot of people, man. A lot of people kept pushing and asking, when are you going to create a YouTube channel, Trey? Like you're funny, you're this, all that stuff. Like you bring up great points. And my dad, I should say our dad used to do TV and big productions for the government in Florida. So he was able to guide us and advise us on how to run a show and stuff like that. So we had a lot of things going for us. We had a lot of great people that we could, pull their ideas from to kind of create an idea for a show. But really where it kind of came down to was like, I felt like I had a voice in the community. I was one of the people, as soon as I heard about the Snyder Cut back in January of 2018, so just 2 months after Justice League came out, I
Right.
saw the group that went to Warner Brothers dressed up in all the cosplay gear with that big banner that said release the Snyder Cut. And I was like, what are they talking about? Like, what is the Snyder Cut? And like, wasn't that Zach's stuff? I didn't realize all the drama that was going on. So I looked into it and found out like there's this whole other thing. So I got involved in the community. I was what I called a ground trooper back then, where I was just tweeting every day, posting on Instagram,
You mean
hashtag
an
release the
OG?
Snyder Cut. Yeah.
An OG. That's the best way to put it.
Oh, yeah, not quite like amongst those cats who really led the way, like Fiona and Ahmad and some of those other guys, Peely and Koj, and not quite those guys, but I was always one of the ground troopers. And watching some of them kind of create their YouTube show, I kept thinking like, oh man, they're talking about some great things, and I feel like I could join them in this discussion. Like I wanna speak about this. And finally, really what kind of pushed it was the lockdown, COVID.
Yes.
Work had shut down even for me. I was staying at home and I was like, I really got to make myself busy. Otherwise I'm gonna lose it. And it was at that time where the community still like, we were still like together and like promoting all these voices. And I kind of just said to Corey and my dad one day was like, hey, want to do a YouTube channel? I have no idea what we'll call ourselves, but what do you think? And Dad and I were like throwing ideas. I think there was just something like Trey's channel. It was like Trey's TV, something like that. Or there was crazy ideas thrown around. I think there was Movie Mafia was an idea at one point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, Corey's like,
Yeah,
he
Movie
likes that
Mafia,
one.
yeah, I like
Movie
that one.
Mafia. But then it kind of clicked one day where my dad and we used to watch like the 1960s Adam West TV series of
Oh
Batman.
yes.
And the episode end, and they always do what they did in that TV show, which was, don't forget to tune in weekly, same bat time, same bat channel. And I just went, bam, like, Dad, that's it. We're the Bat Channel. And every time we end a show, we're going to say same bat time, same bat channel. And there's a deeper meaning to the same bat time, same bat channel than just the TV show that I'll talk about at some point. I don't want to quite, because it's very
No,
personal.
you don't want to give it away, the secret. So
Not so much like give it away. It's one of those, I'm not like ready to tell that story yet, because it
yeah,
is a bit on the
yeah,
personal side.
right, yeah,
But I will tell the deeper meaning behind the same bat time and same bat channel at some point. But it just kind of, it grew, it was just natural progression of, okay, Dad, we're going to do this. Corey, I need your help. Corey was getting really into like video production and editing and stuff like that, to where I had the best people around me. I had my family, who dad was experienced in TV world, of how to create a really good professional quality content. I had Super Bro Corey to make that content look good, and then you had me who was really researching and just trying to figure out how to get comfortable and speaking in front of a camera. I had my wife, right? Yeah.
Those first few videos are fantastic. Y'all need to scroll down the Bat Channel and check them out one of these
Yeah, if
times.
you ever checked out
Yeah.
our first shows, my
What
goodness.
up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries? It's your boy Trey of the Bat
I
Channel.
used to type out a script for an entire show. And if you look at
Wow.
our first episode, like I think our first episode is 90 minutes, Corey.
First episode was an hour 5.
Hour 5. See, yeah, it was insane. I typed up a whole script and I did not leave that script because I was so nervous. I don't know how many takes I did
To get it right.
to get it right. But you just have good people like my wife around me. And then the one thing that also kind of helped push me over was the community. When I tweeted out saying, hey, I'm thinking about creating my own YouTube channel, what advice would you give? And so many people reached out and said, just do it. That was the biggest advice they could give, was just do it. You'll figure it out along the way. You'll find your voice. And that was incredible. And as soon as I created our channel, it was like a bear hug from the entire community. Everyone jumped in and was like, we got you, dude. Like, you're part of this group now. And that was awesome. And that's really how it began.
That is just an amazing story to tell, right? As Strange Marvel Theory says in the chat, it's a testament of great respect to your father. To follow in his footsteps and have a great success is a huge respect, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's a great way to put it. Strange Marvel Theories. And you know what? He would appreciate you saying that, because I guarantee you that man, every time even after we did our stream with Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Carr and Koj and Retro, the man called us up right after and told us he was proud of us, which is always nice. But like being our father, who's a professional TV guy, also with like, okay, here's where this could have been better. This is what this could have been better. It was like
but
cool.
that's something that Trey and I and Dad talked about right from the beginning, that each show that we do, we're going to get at minimum 1% better each time. So every episode we're going to, and hopefully, we're jumping higher than 1%, but we wanted to make sure that every show was going to be 1% better than the last show. And I think that's something we've strived for, and I think that's something that we've accomplished thus far.
Yeah, it's like what you guys have explained to me makes me even like happy to be a part of your community in so many big ways, right? I wasn't expecting to be a mod for you guys. That is something I never expected. You guys modded me, and I'm so grateful for it, because I want to help your community out as much as I can, right? That is something I'm good at, is helping people out, right? And
yeah.
And we love and appreciate all of our moderators. You guys do an amazing job keeping the great conversations going. And I love watching people who've been there from the beginning and welcoming the new ones as well. But watching for some of the great comments from our wrenches out there. I got wrenches from our administrators out there.
It's like a wall of wrenches whenever you go live, and it's great to see, because that way it's awesome, because you get to talk to other people, and as Oracle says, woo, team moderators, yes. And Strange Marvel Theory says, I will say all three of you sound very passionate in your craft. Yes. We all are passionate in a very own unique way. I'm passionate about video games, stroke TV shows and movies. That's my stuff for DC. I covered all those stuff, and occasionally I do talk about the comics on with my co-host, and I do a podcast once every 2 weeks, and I talk about everything in DC, from movies, TV, video games, and comics. and we took all of that stuff, all the positive stuff. And it's not only the Snyderverse stuff, but we cover all of that. But you guys were a very inspiration for that actually when it ca-
Oh, wow.
when it came down to rebranding it, because I had a bit of a problem with my old co-host, which I can't go in depth into detail about. But when I rebranded it, I wanted to make it a little bit more entertaining, and I also wanted to do something where, I can have two of my good buddies on the channel and essentially talk about everything in DC from all the worlds of, because don't forget DC is a multiverse now. It's not just
Mm.
one single
Mhm.
universe. It's a multiverse. So it's definitely something I wanted to talk about, and it's something I wanted to discuss. And you guys were a huge inspiration for that when it came down for you guys to do topic of discussion, when it came down for Star Wars stuff, or even when it came down to DC stuff. You guys were like one of the, the top people to go to look at, and say, look, how you guys are, perform. I would say as performers, it's like you guys show a really good craftsmanship, right, and
Mm.
show a um really good not only do you produce really good content, but you guys show to others that this is how to be, how to professionally be a good creator, and how to network with people. And furthermore, you set an example for all different people out there that are in the DC space.
Oh, thank you, man. That I mean, this is like a crazy moment, Talati, because I remember being in the same position you are, kind of like starting out your channel, and you're like watching, you're trying to observe, right? You're like a sponge. You're just trying to
Yeah,
take in all the information that you possibly can and absorb it to apply it to your channel. And you're looking at someone, you interview a bigger channel than yours or something, or just like anyone that you respect and inspire to be. And it's that cool moment of like, oh, I can't wait till I get there. And in a weird way, I feel like we're kind of like having this moment, and this is
Full
a cool thing
circle.
that we're sharing. Yeah, literally full circle, right?
circle. Yeah,
And
Well,
dude, I love what you're doing on your channel, man. I love the gaming streams, especially
mhm.
that one that you did. What was it? I think was it E3's presentation? You were doing a
yeah.
watch party.
I did.
Uh,
I did E3, but I got copyright claimed for
Yeah.
for just
YouTube
for
will
just
get you.
YouTube will get you for E3 for anything in relation to what's E3? No, it was VGAs, the Video Game Awards.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I got copyright claimed heavily for that. So I was like, no, I can't do that on YouTube. I can do it on Twitch. I can get away with it on Twitch at least. But at least, when it comes down to the reaction stuff, let's say Suicide Squad, or
Mm.
the next Batman game, or potentially, which will be a topic of discussion on this channel right now in a bit, is actually is the Superman game potentially,
Mm.
right? So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's a long time coming. They need to get that done.
and
Yeah.
it's like I've been passionate. I'm a passionate gamer, when it comes down to DC games, but I'm also a big passionate uh you know TV show watcher, because I love watching the TV show. Superman and Lois is one of my favorite
Mhm.
shows to watch, and I've been reacting to that live.
Yeah, those have
Mm.
been
Uh,
good.
those have been like a top hit for me, because every episode we react to it. I stay up till flipping 5, 6 o'clock in the morning my time, and then I go to bed about 7 or 8 in the morning, and I'm just like, I have to do this. I want to create content every week, do it with Comics League and J Heat. And when you guys were doing the reactions to the Visions and Mandalorian, that's what inspired me really, because when you
Hmm.
guys were doing that,
Yeah, thanks, Talati. That definitely means a lot. I remember telling Trey from the beginning that the community has been absolutely amazing, and the kind of the focal point that I look back at a lot is our first live stream. And actually, not even the first live stream that we were part of, which was, I think, Trey with, oh man, I can't remember.
Miguel.
It was Bat Mike Miguel, but
Yeah.
I can't remember the stream's name because it was all they were speaking in Spanish the entire time,
Oh
and I
yeah.
remember being there sitting next to Trey, and I took maybe 2-3 classes of Spanish in high school, and I'm like sitting there next to Trey, like picking out keywords. I'm like, okay, this is what they're talking about. Get ready, and then they'd ask Trey kind of a question in English, and he would respond back the way he could, and then go for it there. And I was like, man, this is awesome. We're connecting with people in Argentina, Chile, right now as part of the first thing that we were talking about, and then it was
the Entree Palaz
Entree,
street.
Yes.
Entree Palaz, yeah.
And then I remember, moving into our own shows and seeing the community grow from there, and the, people who helped us be a part of our live streams, and just the jumping back and forth from everybody's channels definitely touched us, and we've done pretty well in the live stream sense of things. Yeah, we do love our recorded videos as well, because we're able to have a lot of fun with those. But with the live streams, it's more interaction with everybody, and in the chat, as well as people on the panel as well. So one of the things that I told Trey is, no matter how big things get for us, I always want to make sure that we still have this community vibe, and this, we're jumping on people's panels and they're coming on our panels, and, we're all growing together. That's has been one thing that's been very important to us, because it's one of the things that makes our community so great is we do jump around on different people's streams and everything like that. So it makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like when Savage Bat first introduced me to you guys properly on, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a long time ago. I just knew I fit in with the right people, because you got not only you guys are big, DC fans, but you're also like into other things too, like Star Wars, Indiana Jones. You're also into potential. I don't know if you guys even cover Power Rangers, but you, you never know. It's like,
Loved the Power Rangers. I was very sad to hear of the loss of Jason. That was another reason why AFSP is so important.
yeah, and it's like when I look at you guys, it's just like you guys fit the same. The stuff that you guys do just inspires me so much to be more passionate about the content that I want to be going forward. And like I said, if anyone in the chat hasn't subscribed to the Bat Channel, what are you guys doing? Please go subscribe to them. Please, I would highly recommend subscribing to the Bat Channel, because the fact that you guys are not only entertaining, but you guys want to engage with the community. Like we were planning to even set up a Discord server. That is something that is on the cards too, because that is something we want to bring. Is like a Discord server where you can interact with everybody in the community.
Yeah. No, we definitely need to set that up sometime with you, because that would be that is definitely the goal, and that's kind of the thing, right? Like when you think about the natural progressions of things, like when our channel first started out, it was strictly just DC, right? Like we used to say in our tagline, your main hub for all things Batman and DC.
That's literally in the title of the very first video. Welcome to the Bat Channel, your main Batman hub.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it progressed to where it was just like, well, like, yeah, it was like one of those things where like, yeah, I could keep talking about Batman stuff, but I really want to talk about this. But can I talk about this? Like, because we're a Bat Channel, do I have to create another YouTube thing? And my dad was just like, no, just like become a entertainment channel. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. So then it became, you heard the tagline turn into, your main hub for Batman, DC, and more, and it starts to grow. And then you find other people in your community who are just like you, like, yeah, we love Star Wars. Like when Orc and Beans 14 messaged me and was like, messaged Corey and said like, dude, I love Star Wars. Like, I would love to talk about this stuff with you guys. Come on our show. Like, let's talk about it. And then Savage Bat, like, for as huge as a Batman fan he is, Star Wars, he takes to like a whole nother level. That man is like, he might as well call him Savage Jedi or something like that, or Savage Sith. And, you know, we did this show together, and then it was kind of clicking to that idea of like, okay, we got this thing going on, and people really like when you kind of brand something. So how do we brand this? We're DC channel, but we're talking about Star Wars. Well, there's this video game I really loved playing growing up, and it influenced me in a way where I wrote my own Star Wars story because of this video game. And I was like, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to call ourselves Delta Squad because we're the Republic Commandos. That's 4 people on that team. And here we are doing these shows. I was like, that's us. We're Delta Squad. And then you got Star Wars fans who are digging it because they're like, oh my God, Republic. It's just, you're finding ways to connect with people on different levels.
Yeah.
You know, being a huge Godzilla fan, you know, with the whole MonsterVerse that's going on right now, like people were joining. Necron is a huge Godzilla fan and bringing him over and doing stuff with us like that. There's just so many different ways and fun things that you can find that makes us similar in a way, you know, or even things that make us different. You know, you can bring those people on and have a fun discussion, but finding those things that you can be passionate about together is one of the coolest things that you could do on YouTube. And as we said, I think even in our first show, we talked about our goal for the Bat Channel, and our goal was simply bring a community together, make a community. And it's been a wild ride. You never know where it's going to lead you, but it's this moment right here with you, Taladia, with our followers, with the people in the chat, with the community on social media. It's so cool that we got to do this to the point where we can do these charity streams for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, or, you know, when we were hanging out with the Batfleck movie team and had them on our show, their big charity was Feeding America. So we were like, come on, let's raise money for Feeding America. Another great cause that every dollar that is donated to Feeding America, that's 10 meals for a hungry family. So it was like perfect. And I think, Corey, how much did we raise for the Feeding America one? Was it just over $200?
Yeah, I think that one was one of the early fundraisers.
That was very early.
I think it was over $200.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
maybe even been $5. I'm not even sure. It was
probably all things together. We probably ended up being $500. But you know, that's just been a wonderful blessing to have. Not only are we nerding out about stuff, you know, and talking about the things that make us happy in this world, but we're helping those who don't have it as good as us, you know, who need a hand, you know, who need real life superheroes, right? Like you read these comics and you hope that when, at least I would imagine the comic book writers kind of hope that people take some inspirations and he learns some values and life values in them, and some moral code. And in a way, we're kind of doing that, right? We're kind of applying some of those superhero moral codes into what we do on our YouTube channel, which is take care of people, you know, let people know that it's, you know, you're okay, and that like you're going to take care of them. You know, one of those things, stand up for what's right, call out things that are wrong, you know, and it's as simple as that. And that's what I've loved about this entire experience throughout the, you know, the process. Out of curiosity, Talati, I know this is kind of an interview on us, but if you don't mind, I'd like to switch the tables up on you.
Go ahead.
What's the origins of Taladia Plays, and not only that, like what was kind of the mindset and going into it? Like, were you thinking like, oh, this is where I hope to be by this date? Like, kind of give me the whole rundown of Taladia Plays.
So the origin of Taladia Plays is simple, really. I put my surname, my nickname, Taladia, and put Plays together, and I basically was like, what would I love? What do I love the most? And I said DC games, and the Arkham games was a big thing for me. So I used to cover DC, like I covered the Arkham Knight game. I covered that, and then Injustice 2 was coming around the corner. So I did full coverage of that from start to finish. So I used to do coverage, including news, including walkthrough. I wasn't getting much views for it, but I was like, that's something of a learning curve for me because I know that walkthroughs don't make that uh, much of an impact when it comes down to YouTube's algorithm back in the day, and they still don't now. So it's like I was just like, I just still want to do DC. So I still want to cover the games. I still want to cover um more than like in the last year or two, I wanted to cover more than games now because I see that DC TV was kind of picking up with Superman and Lois, basically being a big thing, and furthermore, it was like I really wanted to be able to basically make everyone smile. And my goal for the end of this year is to try and reach 1,000 subscribers.
Nice.
That is something
Do it.
that's really my goal is to have
Subscribe to Teladia.
Just
1,000 subs and to have that 4,000 watch hours, right? And like, but me networking with other content creators is the biggest thing for me, and that is the key point. It's like me networking with you guys because I feel like we're not only just know each other because we're content creators for the thing, but I feel like we're more than that. I think we're friends because the
Mhm.
fact that you guys have known me for such a long time. You guys have had me on your panels recently. I got Corey onto the watch party for Army of Thieves
Mhm.
oh
that we
yeah,
did
that was
that we
awesome.
did
Corey
that.
told me about that. I was like, that was cool.
And when Corey told me about like changing it from Zack Snyder's Justice League to Army of Thieves, I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I switched it up for the just for the sake of that. And like even like here's another thing too, fun fact for you guys. It's just that I have cerebral palsy, which
Well,
is a disability, and that doesn't stop me from doing content creation. It
that's
never
amazing.
stop
Mm.
it never stops me from doing.
I never would have known that. That's
Yeah.
amazing that you're
I,
able to do what you're able to do. That's wow.
Yeah, because when I play games, I play one-handed. I can't even use my right hand properly. So
Huh.
wow.
I play one-handed um for my video games, especially like when it comes down to Batman Arkham, Injustice, one-handed, literally. I'm not the best at it, but I'm decent enough to have over 1,000 wins on Injustice
Wow.
2.
I want to dive a little deeper into that, just out of curiosity. Do they, since you're unable to use your other hand, do they make um,
Special controller.
controls for you to be able to, control everything one handed?
No, I use a normal
Huh.
controller.
Wow.
Wow. Oh
I, d-
my gosh.
I use a normal controller to play my video games, guys. And that is essentially, even for Gotham Knights, I was using the normal controller. I don't use special controller because for me, I want to be able to use that one controller that I want to be able to try and get both hands working. But at the same time, my goal is to essentially to not to try and prove people wrong, right? That is my goal. I mean, when I was younger, I wasn't able to walk and talk until the age of 5, right?
Wow.
Wow.
So essentially now it's like I want to prove people wrong for anything that I do in life. That is from YouTube content creation to real life stuff to even to try and make as many new friends as I can. That's why I've been networking outside of Still Nation, right? I've been networking with Mad Max Entertainment and going on his channel and networking with him because he's such one cool dude to talk with and just to talk genuinely anything that's not even DC. It can even be Marvel. It could be Star Wars. It could be Picard from Star Trek, or even gaming. Anything. I just don't. I don't mind just as long as I can you make new friends essentially and people that accept me for who I am. Really, that's what I really. That,
Yeah.
but
No, I mean that's
this shouldn't be about me though. This should be about you guys.
oh no, I mean this is part of the fun of it, right? Like we get to learn a little more about you, you get to learn about us, and I think that's the cool thing, right? Like we've all had different paths that have crossed or led us
Thank
to this moment, and thank you guys for subbing to live plays. Like, you guys won't be disappointed, seriously. Like, love his stuff. But it's like, it's one of these scenes, so I like, and this is what a great story, man, that I've always found inspiration from someone who doesn't allow something to kind of not to be, excuse is not the right word, but to let it be their crutch, or to say this is why I can't do something. You've took it as, people say I can't do this, I'm gonna do it. And
you.
people like think I would have a horrible time trying to play video games. You have a gaming channel and you kick ass at it. Like, how cool is that? I mean, 1,000 wins on Injustice 2. I I'm not even anywhere near there. Like, that's insane. And just, it's a testament to who you are as a person, Taladia. And just keep that mentality, dude. Keep setting those goals and those things that are gonna light that fire within you, that passion that just keeps you going forward. And building friendships along the way. Can't get much better than that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's so
it's like
amazing.
it's like I said, like the way you guys have been positive. It's like I was just like I want to like essentially be like you guys, and in terms of basically being positive and trying to spread that positive message across all media form, so that it's from not only video games but reaction streams to even network with different content creators to try and motivate them to do. If you guys want to do content creation, go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. No matter what thing, you should never give up on yourself, because that's the way I see it. And those three words, never give up, was actually inspired by what actually John Cena uses. And those three words mean a lot to me, because John Cena, what John Cena does in the ring and outside the ring,
Yeah,
says it all. It's like, don't give up on yourself. Positive, be never give up on yourself, and you will get there one eventually. So I've done that for many years, and to this day I'm so grateful for the fact that John Cena follows me on Twitter, by the way. I'm so
that's cool.
grateful for his you know inspiration to not giving up on myself. It's like that's what the big deal is for me. Is like, don't give up on myself. Follow different people, follow their examples, set an example as well for others. Like, I'm in my 30s now, and I really want to set example for younger people to be like me, essentially, and be like, wait, this guy can do this, so I can do it too. So that's what I'm trying to do.
That's awesome. And yeah, hey man, John Cena is a good inspiration to have, because I think he still holds the record for
Yes.
the Make a Wish Foundation, for most wishes, for kids and stuff like that. Like, he's, yeah, man. Anytime you can give back to the community in any way, to say thank you for the opportunities that people have presented you, like that's a special moment. Like, I think, and in a weird way, like, imagine that's kind of like the crazy thing. Like, some YouTubers have aspirations to be like, I just want to be 100,000 subscribers so I can quit my job and you know do
I
all the
just want,
crazy things I want to do. And like, some of us are kind of like, I just want to get to 10,000 subscribers so we can do more charity streams.
and like
It's,
for me, it's about putting smiles on people's faces. That's what it's all
yes.
about for me. Not about
Yeah.
making money, not about basically saying, "Oh, I want to be monetized." Nothing like that. I just want to basically put smile on people's faces and give them as much content as I can. And also, it's like strange Marvel theories. You shouldn't give up on making videos, because if you do, you're giving up on yourself. Don't give up on the stuff
Oh yeah.
you love. So, but before, obviously I know I'm going a little overboard here, but I want to obviously talk about the sell Snyderverse to Netflix, because that
Mm.
is a topic of discussion I really wanted to get onto, and it's like this is like the last two subjects before we end the stream. Of course, it's like the sell Zack Snyder's Justice League and to Netflix, and the movement, and I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. And obviously, with Skywalker the Jedi, the great YouTuber, he's another person I would highly recommend checking him out, because I asked him a bunch of questions yesterday on his Twitter space, and I was like, how was the experience at SnyderCon? Watching Zack Snyder Justice League in IMAX, and all of that stuff. And he gave me some great answers. So,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
it's like,
Sky is a funny one, man. Like, here's you want to talk about something with Sky of like how crazy it is, and this is one of those great moments about the community, right? Corey, I think Corey was there too, but I know Sil and we were doing a stream together on Sil's show, and
yeah,
Sky jumped on. It was the first time he ever jumped onto his stream, and he said to us, "Hey man, I'm thinking about like starting my own YouTube channel. You guys got tips?" And we're like, the same advice that I got from many other content creators. Just do it, brother. And we kept saying, we got you. Create your channel, we'll show up because that's what this community does. We show up.
yes,
And look at Sky now, over
500
500
plus.
subs. Yeah. Like, how crazy is that? The guy that just hopped on our channel, our show with Sil, just talking DC and stuff like that, saying like, hey, you guys really inspire me. How do I do this? Just do it. And there's no secret to it. It's just do it. And to see where he's progressed in all this, how the community has not only shown up for him, but has accepted him, welcomed him in, and now he's leading it, right? He's leading this community in a way. And it's just that's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful what you're doing. It's beautiful what Sky's doing. It's beautiful what really all these content creators have done. And whether you're in it for the glory of it, if you're in it to make people smile, or do other, whatever your goal is, do it with passion, do it with excitement, do it because it makes you happy and it makes others happy, and create
Nice.
a welcoming community, and then
Yeah.
that's satisfying.
And
Go
the
on.
great thing
Go on.
about this community too is, like you said, Trey, we will show up to support you. I and we will never forget those who have come to support us as well.
Yeah.
There's been numerous occasions where Trey and I will, get that conversation with somebody, and they're like, "Hey, really think about, starting my own channel. I have no clue how to use StreamYard, and we'll go and show how we run StreamYard, or what kind of equipment we're using and stuff like that. And maybe we should look at doing some additional stuff on that, Trey. But we're all about trying to help bring up more content creators and bring people to do something that they're passionate about and create a community. It's just so much fun and so inspiring to see channels like yours, Taladia, grow over the time that it has. And you'll make it to 1K in no time, my friend.
Absolutely.
Like I'm still not giving up on that, right? That's something I'm not giving up on. And even if you guys want me on your channel to interview me, I'll be more than glad to be a part of that, to do an interview with you guys, to be on your channel to actually discuss basically everything that I've done on my channel, what I've done for the last 10 years, because I've been doing YouTube for about 10 years now,
Yeah.
10 plus years.
Oh,
Uh,
cool, dude.
yeah,
That's
so I've been doing, I had a different channel before this channel, and that was basically strictly anything and everything.
oh,
And then that got shut down because of, not only because somebody was false flagging it,
uh,
uh, so I was just like, I'm not having that. So instead, I was just like, okay, I'm going to focus on something which I enjoy. People can't harass me in that type of
yeah.
way and be negative. This is a positive channel. And furthermore, it's like what John Cena says, don't give up. So I'm not giving up. And then when I came across your channel, it's like what you guys discuss. It's like, oh yeah, that's something I could do. That's something I could bring to my channel. That's something like I have a show called League of DC, where it's
Mm.
essentially we assemble the league essentially, and we talk about DC, right? So we have our Aquaman, we have our Superman, we have our Batman, we have our Wonder Woman in the in the community, and Snyder Queen actually is part of the league as well.
Sammy's
So
awesome.
Sammy's awesome, yeah. So she's part of our little group. So it's like to have her be a part of the community is like great. And we recently did the Full Circle live event, like the BVS panel
Yeah,
reaction.
I did watch some of that. That was cool reactions going on with all you guys.
Yeah, it was like Sammy, we had on Sammy. I didn't overreact, but the other guys did. I was just like, I was trying to be, playing it cool. And then like on Sunday we did the live reaction to just Zack Snyder Justice League panel. Obviously, we didn't like watch the movie alongside with them,
Mm.
but I was just like, you know what? Like I'm just gonna like relax, watch the panel, react to it, live stream it, and essentially, hopefully, people will come and join me for that, right? Um, and essentially that way people can be like, oh yeah, you're live streaming Zack Snyder's Justice League and getting people to watch watch your channel, and that's something I'm doing. It's like I'm not saying to everybody else that, oh, it's not only Snyderverse I'm covering though. I'm covering DC games. I'm covering the DC show stuff as well for Superman and Lois, and whatever next is coming up for like DC, I'll cover that. That's no problem because my channel is a DC content channel, and it's not an indie. Like, would I love to explore indie? Yes, but it doesn't fit the stuff that I'm doing though at the moment. That's the only thing. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things that you can keep in your back pocket for when the time
yeah,
comes when you build your audience. If you want to throw in something new and exciting to help show them a piece of yourself, which is you like these indie games, your followers, especially those awesome ones that like stick with you, and
yeah,
they show up to every stream. They'll show up to those streams, and you know what? You might just open them up to like a new game that they've never thought about before, and they're like, oh, this is cool, like I want to. And that's like the cool part of like content creating, is like you get to a place where if there's things that you haven't like shared with your audience before, something a little bit about yourself, then it's just that cool thing where now they feel more connected with you. They feel like
yes,
they're along this journey with you. As Corey and I like to be probably overly honest with our with our audience, but like in a way, like they know we have lives. Like just because we're doing YouTube and content creators doesn't make us a celebrity, like. And that, just like we talked about earlier, right, with like Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Carter, like yes, they are celebrities, but they were the chillest, like most genuine, real people, down to earth people we've ever spoken to. And it's like if you just treat them like respectfully, and just like any other person that you would see walking down the street saying hello, they
it's
appreciate that so much, just
yeah,
to be a friend.
yeah, and that's why like when it came down to like the cell movement for Cell Zack Snyder's Justice League, it was the most positive thing I've seen in a long, long, long time. So I was just like, I'm being a part of this movement. Obviously, I haven't been able to get the t-shirts yet because I've been so much in, you know, dealing with debts and whatnot. But it's like, obviously, I want to be able to get a t-shirt. At least I'm trying to get one for or a hoodie for that matter from Noel no for that Noel Lower Flores.
Noel Land Flores, yeah.
Yeah, that does the Dreamwalker stuff. Is like his artwork is just incredible. So it's like the Cell movement with his artwork is perfect for me. It's just that at the moment money is tight, so
I
I would
hear
just
you
wish
there.
There are
it,
so many shirts on each of the people that yeah,
I
I
wish
was
we could buy
looking
them
at
all.
the other day. I
yeah,
was like, man, I still want, you know, so it's like the full circle events, all the hashtag sell shirts, they have some really cool ones, like especially they have, a cyborg solo shirt, a Green Lantern solo shirt, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna go broke off of these shirts.
Right, yeah.
yeah,
It gets crazy, the amount. And you want to support them all. And like if anything, if you can't like buy a t-shirt, the next best thing you can do, share the link, let your audience know that, hey, there's these really cool t-shirts. If you can grab one, they're awesome. I mean, people understand. I mean, just like when the donating, as we say to people, like, hey, if you can't donate, that's fine. If you can't donate to AFSP, talk about it. Let people know that we're doing this. Spread the word. Check up on your friends.
yes,
If the friend you haven't heard from a while, give them a call. The friend that says I'm okay and you don't get the feeling that they're okay, give them a call. It's simple things that, like, okay, if you can't support financially, how else can you support? And that's usually help spread the word.
Exactly. And remember that AFSP is not just a place that we donate to, but they are out there helping people every day. So
Supporting
Yes.
people.
if
Yeah.
you need the help, make sure you're utilizing the resources from AFSP to get the help that you need as well.
Yes.
Yes. So essentially, like I said, guys, Cells Zelestial on Netflix. If you guys haven't used the hashtag yet, I would recommend you guys using that over on Twitter. Promote that stuff because that is a positive message between Netflix and ourselves, the fans, to basically get Zack Snyder's universe onto that platform so everyone can get to watch it all across the world,
Shout out
right?
to the Trinity.
And shout out
You know it.
to the Trinity, of course, and like um I really wanted to basically say there's a couple two things I want to do just before we end because there is obviously I've going on over an hour and 15 minutes now,
Oh,
and
you're okay,
that
Talati.
is
No
the
worries. Yeah.
no, I mean like I said, I don't want to basically overdo it for you guys, and like you said, you guys wanted to do an hour or so. So the first obviously topic is Superman game, right? And we know you guys love the Arkham games. We know you guys love telling that story. You guys have probably played it dozens of times, right? And
Yeah.
so obviously there's Suicide Squad Killer Justice League happening next year now. And with the
Keeps getting
with
pushed
the
back.
yeah, and with the rumor of a Superman game, what story would you love to see in a Superman game? And I know Super Corey is a big Superman fan, so I would love to hear your guys' opinions on that.
Oh,
That's a great question. You- Corey, do you want to start?
I think for story, I'm open to a lot of different storylines. The thing that I hope for is just great gameplay because as we saw with the Arkham series, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, being able to do everything that Batman does in that game and relatively a smooth transitioning side of things was huge in that game, and it really made you feel like you were Batman.
I am
So
Batman.
you know, with the Superman game, that takes a lot of power, a lot of just of course it makes sense why the Superman game has taken so long because that flawless seamless transition from running around on the ground to jumping up and flying in the air and everything like that, that requires a lot of processing. So I'm looking for something smooth in that sense. um Man, uh you played DC Universe, right, Tiladia?
Yeah. Yes, I played DC Universe Online, both PC and on PlayStation.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's I've always been fascinated with Brainiac. So I
Yeah.
I would love to see a storyline on that side of things, but I think that it also needs to be in some way a how Arkham does it, where it brings in all of the villains and such. Like I would love to see Clark Kent going around trying to do some reporter stuff, investigate some things
Oh,
that
like
way.
a detective story as well. Like
Yes,
that could be
detective
cool.
story,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
but
Yeah.
also have a menacing Lex Luthor out there as well. Brainiac doing his things,
World
and
build
then
it.
just
Yeah.
absolutely world build it, and I obviously I think Lex Luthor becomes that Joker like character from Arkham, but uh, I would say probably as long as they stay away from riddles, those riddles.
No Riddler
Yeah,
trophies.
no Riddler trophies, but yes, something along where we can have multiple different villains.
Mm.
Maybe key point around Brainiac would be a lot of fun in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what what comic should they use for as an inspiration?
Mm.
I mean, there's also Superman. There's Superman Unchained from the New 52. There's
Oh yeah. Oh, what was the new one that just came out? It was like Superman
Warworld.
War World. Yeah. That would be dope. That'd be a cool storyline where he's like on like a Coliseum like planet where he's just roaming battles all these different aliens. That could be dope. Um
I think it'll probably be most likely All Star side of things. So this is where I start to really think and wonder. And I know you have a lot of great insight here, Taladia. So I would
Yes.
love to hear more on your thoughts, because the biggest thing that DC is kind of in its own little world nowadays, and um, we've kind of talked about this before, but Gunn himself has said that he wants to kind of have like one big coherent universe, and you said that that's not necessarily going to work. But with the Superman legacy that he's going to be trying to build, do you think that they're going to try to make that legacy all-star style Superman game? That's what my assumption was, to kind of stay coherent with
Mhm.
a movie, like he said in that one interview some time ago. But
Yeah.
like, what are your thoughts on that? Because like, of course, I would love to see. Heck, I would be down to see a Red Sun Superman game. I would
that'd be
love to
dope.
play Red Sun. But with the new direction that they're heading, it makes me wonder if they're going to try to stay more coherent to that legacy all star style of gameplay.
Yeah. For me, it's like what James Gunn is doing is like he wants the movies, the TV shows to be all in one, and animation as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but I think after what David Zaslav is saying, I can see it happening, but it might be connected to DCU. It might be because after the recent, I would say, failure for Gotham Knights in terms of critical reviews,
Mm,
and it did meet sales expectations, but it did not meet reviews expectations. So I think they probably will say, look, hey, we're gonna make a new DC universe. Why don't we just make a DC Superman game that's based around it, before Superman Legacy, so to say, right?
mm,
So it would take before Superman Legacy, and it can still tie into the Superman Legacy movie.
yeah. I will say the one part that like I was hoping they were going in this direction, and it breaks my heart that probably it will never get there anymore. I was hoping that in Arkham Knight, I was going to bring it up to Ladia,
Yeah, yeah,
when they were starting to really world build that Arkham verse with Lex Luthor, LexCorp, the mention of Superman. I think they even mentioned Green Arrow at one
yes,
point in that story. I was really hoping that what this Suicide Squad kills the Justice League would do is eventually would get a Superman game that's in the Arkhamverse. We would get a Flash game that's in the Arkhamverse. Get all these, solo characters, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, all of them, to eventually lead to a giant, like Destiny style open world DC game where your friends could play as the Justice League and you go on missions together. And I was really hoping that would happen, but obviously with the loss of the great Kevin Conroy,
yeah.
that one still bums the hell out of me. Um, I was hoping that would be the direction they go in, but I highly doubt it now at this
I
point.
I think the direction that WB is going in is so that Rocksteady will be making the multiplayer based games,
Yeah,
and the single player experience games will be like Monolith, WB Games One,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
um, Avalanche Software, Avalanche. So those people are going to be making the single player experience games, whereas the multiplayer will be simply because Rocksteady has done a multiplayer game before they did the Arkhamverse games. So like this is like stuff that I've known and come to have seen. I've just like, you know what, this makes sense. I understand why they did Suicide Squad, but nobody really wanted a Suicide Squad game. If you ask people, the general audience, what would you want? A Justice League game, a Suicide Squad game, or a solo Superman game? from Rocksteady, they would 9 times out of 10 they would say a either Justice League game or a solo Superman game by Rocksteady. 9 times out of 10, right?
Yeah. I
And
think this, if they do it right, hopefully all these delays, I'm worried that the delays are going to make people not interested anymore, or like really look for issues with the game, because if they have delays and they have as much issues that Star Wars Jedi Survivor is having with its release, I think people are going to just say this game sucks. So I'm hoping they're taking good
well,
quality time to make it a great game, because if it comes out and it's flawless and it's an amazing story,
mm,
I think it could be a huge hit, like not, maybe not at the level of Hogwarts Legacy, but I think it could be a good game if done right.
yeah, I think for the story campaign, be done right. But after that, it would pretty much be a DOA game
Yeah.
because because it's a live service game because that's what the problem is with live service. Essentially, once nobody wants live service games anymore, and it's like stuff like if you got like take a look at the Division 2 and Destiny 2, those were two very successful franchises for video games, right? Especially
Mm.
live service elements. But when you take a look at the superhero genre type of thing, Avengers didn't do well. It kind of flopped on its head, and they didn't cover any content after 2 years.
Mm.
And now with Suicide Squad, it's taking them up to 4 years before they got their game out.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like Warner Brothers right now got to look at the bigger picture here and be like, okay, well, what can make us money? Obviously, Batman makes money. That's a given. But what about other characters? And I think Superman is one key character that needs a video game that, and you could have it in the same vein as you know Dragon Ball Z Kakarot as a prime example. Look,
Mm.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a semi-open world game.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, um like the story is like from start to finish. You had the Saiyan saga, the Cell saga, sorry, Saiyan saga, then you had the Frieza saga, Cell saga, the Buu saga, then you had the Lord Beerus, then the Resurrection F. And they've gone back in time now and they're doing DLC for like the father of Goku, and now they're doing the Budokai Tenkaichi tournament. That's what they're doing for the next DLC.
Mm.
And everything is synchronizing up. So WB, if take examples from that, they could make a great game for just the combat stuff. And or you could go back and look at Factor Five's game, which was a brawler type, and they took huge inspirations from the Justice League animated series and the Superman animated series from the 90s. So that's what I think personally. Like if Warner Brothers were listening to the fans, then they should look at some of the cancelled stuff that they've done previously and resurrect them if they can, right? Um, so that's what I think, at least at the very least. But you know, I gotta say, before we end off, like I'll obviously do a segment which is called final thoughts, right? Because obviously it is about you guys. So, final thoughts on obviously what you guys have got coming up, and obviously what we've discussed to today, and furthermore, it's like what have you guys got planned out for the future of your content, and what other things would you love to do with with me or with other people? Would you love to do?
Super Corey, I'll let you start, bro.
Man, first off, I just want to say thank you so much, Shaladia, for inviting us to come on here and just talk about the amazing interview and the how great this community is and how much support for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. That's really the foundation of it all. The support to AFSP. It's funny, I mentioned it yesterday on our stream, but I'll relay it again. I happened to run into three fairly important ladies who worked for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. One was an executive director for a region, and others like that. And just happened to kind of strike up a conversation with them, and was just thanking them for everything that they do for AFSP, and told them that I had a little bit of a side thing, and our community are great supporters of AFSP. She's like, "Oh, do you mind if we ask what that side community is?" Well, so I got into it and started talking about Zack Snyder, and the Full Circle event, and everything that we've done for AFSP through Zack Snyder, hashtag for Autumn, and everything along those lines. And they were absolutely thrilled. Their smiles got incredibly huge, and was talking to them about our Full Circle event last week, and they're like, "Give me a high five," and I was like, "Oh no, this is not about us. This is about what you guys do for AFSP." And when I was like, when she gave me a high five, I was like, "Oh no, it's not. I don't need a high five." And what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to give this high five to our community. Our community deserves the high five because they're the ones out there helping raise money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, that donate to the streams, that donate to Full Circle, that buy into the People shirts, that have, loved this campaign for so long now and have been a part of it every step of the way with us on the Bat Channel, and Taladia Plays, and the community as a whole. It's so important to remember what AFSP does, and remember that if you can't donate, to call up a friend, tell them that they're loved, and that they mean the world to you. Like Trey mentioned in the stream last week, that was a beautiful line. It's okay to say you're not okay, and that's huge as well. But on the flip side, remembering that AFSP is also an organization to get help, not just to give, but to get help as well. So if you're in a moment of struggle or depression, or things aren't looking great, and you need some assistance, make sure you reach out to and utilize the tools at AFSP. That's the most important thing. And I appreciate you, Taladia, having the link in the description, and
Yes.
asking us to talk about the event more for that. So thanks again.
No
Um,
worries.
on top of that, I would say, it was just an incredible event. It was amazing to have everybody on. Special shout out to Koj and to Retro Nerd Girl. Absolutely amazing to have Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Kerr on as well. It was just an absolute amazing time with them. And it's one of the things that I love about this community so much. You all showed up, and we did it for AFSP, we did it for you, and that's why we keep doing this. So I personally look forward to future endeavors and future opportunities where we could be together, Taladia, and with the community, and continue to just grow and share our passion for the comic world, and anything else that we love in this world, and just continue to open our lives and share each other as friends, and just continue to grow this community together. So I just want to, again, thanks the community, and thank you to the chat, and you, Taladia, and everybody who has been there every step of the way, and continuing to, be our light in why we have the Bat Channel, and why we continue to want to grow the channel as well. So we're incredibly blessed and thankful for you all. So yeah, thanks very much, Taladia. This has been a really meaningful stream, and can't thank you enough, and I can't thank the chat and community enough for all that you guys do.
That's no problem at all. The Bat Channel, obviously, your final thoughts of and what we discussed, and basically, if you got anything else you wanted to add to what SuperBroCorey has said, and furthermore, what have you got coming up on the channel? What would you like? What like try to get yourself if any of my subs are watching this, like make sure you do subscribe and make sure you do donate to AFSP as well. We highly recommend you guys doing this. It would we would super appreciate it if you guys do that for AFSP. And yeah, so go ahead, Trey.
Well, first off, man, thank you so much, Saladia, for having us on. This was a real treat. It's always a blast hanging out with you, man, and you've always been a great friend to our channel and hanging out with us, and we really appreciate that. And thank you for shining some more light on the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Yeah, our full circle stream was an incredible moment for our channel, but more importantly, it was an incredible moment for the community to have people like Koj, Retro, and Samantha Wynn and Wayne T. Carr, take some time out of their busy schedules to just be there, to show up, as we talked about earlier, to show up and show their support for the community and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and to raise $830 for AFSP. Like that was absolutely humbling. And I just like, it was one of those moments where you had to take a step back and be like, wow, this is how cool this community can be when we come together united behind a well-deserved cause, right? And it just shows, like that saying that Zack Snyder had on one of his Ink to the People t-shirts, the world became a Justice League. And that's like, I know that's kind of corny, but at the same time, that actually like means a lot to me. That means something to know that together we can become this force of good. And our stream last weekend proved that. We're going to continue to do things like that, in the future. We obviously, if we can hit 10,000 subs at some point, charity streams make it that much easier to do those events more often. And that's something I really look forward to for our channel, because there's more causes I want to help support. And, I think that's just a wonderful thing that YouTube allows you to do when you hit that number. But in the meantime, Corey and I are going to continue to fight for AFSP, to, do fun content and create a place where it's just fun and welcoming, and we're just having a good time talking about the things that we're passionate about and that we love. Obviously tonight, with it being Star Wars weekend, Corey and I are going to be celebrating with the 40th anniversary of Star Wars Return of the Jedi. We're going to be doing a watch party. Todd, if I know it's probably going to be pretty early for you, but
2 a.m. I'm gonna be up, mate.
Be...
I'll still be up at 2 a.m. in the morning, so you do not need to worry. Well, sorry, 11 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah,
isn't it 11?
Hold on, let me double check. It's 9 p.m. Eastern, so whatever that is for you.
2 a.m. my time.
Bless your heart. If you want to join us, you are absolutely welcome.
Yes,
but
I would love to. I would love to, because I mean, I love Star Wars. Like I really have enjoyed the the Star Wars films from episode 6, from episode 4, 5, and 6 to 1, 2, and 3. Didn't so much like the sequel trilogy, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like the stuff after that, like the Mandalorian, the Ahsoka, show that's happening, and I'm excited for those shows, Rebels, and all those shows I've been enjoying. So this would be a very interesting stream to do. But yeah, definitely, like guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Bat Channel, please, I would highly recommend subscribing to the Bat Channel, guys. And if you're watching this on Twitter, make sure you guys do follow the Bat Channel, which is at the
it's at the _ Bat Channel on Twitter. But yeah, definitely follow us on there. But guys, more importantly, keep lifting this community up. Please subscribe to Taladia. Let's get this man to 1,000 subs. Like, get him monetized so that way he can be doing more of these crazy cool live streams. And dude, I can't wait to see what you have coming up in the future. Thank you so much for always being a good friend to us, and we appreciate you. And thank you to the audience who's hanging out with us right now. I see a lot of our followers here, but we just can't thank you guys enough, and really appreciate you. And we'll just keep doing what we do, keep creating fun content, and we hope to see you guys there along with us on this journey.
Yes, and don't worry. And by the way, guys, just to get you guys a bit of a big surprise for you, I have got another interview coming up on Monday, guys. Monday is going to be a very exciting interview. I'm having Rhea, the glimmering harpy
Ooh.
from uh,
Rhea!
Rhea from the moderating team that for multiple channels. We're going to be interviewing her for basically her experience at SnyderCon and her experience interviewing Zack Snyder and all of that stuff. So I'll be interviewing her on Monday at I believe it's 11 a.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. British Summer Time. And essentially, I'll be asking a bunch of questions. And if you guys have got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or let me know, and I will put them to Rhea, and I'll make sure that your questions are answered by her for any questions in regards to her experiences, there to what does she enjoy, or so on and so forth. How I interviewed these guys, these two amazing content creators. I must say, when I wasn't expecting them to do an interview with me today, and I was just like, I was really glad and super appreciative and super grateful because I really wanted to get not only to get these guys on the channel, but to raise AFSP even further. Because even though it's been a week, I still want to raise that awareness for it because I think it's really key importancy to still remember the fight isn't over. The fight is not over for AFSP, and trying to save lives. That's the key point. Is trying to save lives, guys. So and as Super Corey, as he said, he's a realistically, guys, just keep on supporting the community. Show everybody support, help each other along the way, and never give up, guys. Because whatever you guys do in life, you should never give up on yourself. Show that you can prove people wrong, and you will get to where you are in life. So, with that being said, I will let the Bat Channel do his famous outro on my channel, and both of you guys can do it, and it's an honor to have you both on my channel. So, with
Thanks,
that
brother.
being said, let them do the outro.
Well, I first off, you're amazing, Taladia. So I think we're gonna switch this up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
Man, Trey, we are such brothers. I was thinking the same thing, buddy.
big fella.
Make sure you guys come back and check out Taladia Plays on Monday. Rhea, the Glimmering Harpy, she's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited for that interview. She had a fantastic stream last Saturday as well. So super excited for that. But Trey, go ahead, buddy.
You guys know what to do. Smash that like, share this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a Taladia Play show. You already know I am your faithful guest of Taladia Plays with Super Bro Corey. And don't forget to tune in weekly. Same Taladia time.
Taladia time. Same Taladia Plays.
You know.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye.